Brand account is. Oh. Hello, we did it. It took us forever.
Surprise.
Surprise, we're here. We're surprised too. It was a little challenging this morning. Mercury retrograde is what I think. I don't know. But anyway, welcome. We are happy to have you here. Please go ahead and put a comment in the chat. We have a lot of questions, so we're going to get started and get going with those.
Yeah, we have a ton of questions that have come in. We're super excited, and we'll kind of toggle back and forth between the live chat and the questions that we have that you've sent in. So very first question that we have that came in is, will my embryo transfer be successful?
That feels very, very likely. I feel like they're going to put in two, and one's going to definitely stay. So it feels very likely.
All right, next question. What is the purpose of mental illness, especially when it leads to the devastating loss of life of an innocent family member at the hands of the mentally ill person?
Yeah, that is a really big question. So with that, let's talk a little bit about pre-life plans. So when we come into this world, we know that we're going to have DNA. So our body, we have our mind, and we have our spirit. And so very often people will come in with a predisposition to some type of disease, whether it's ALS, cancer, mental health issues, on and on like that. So what will happen is, we know as a soul that when we're coming into this body, we also have our mind and our spirit. Very often, as much as we can stay in alignment, that will help us to be healthy mentally, physically, and not encounter those problems. But for some souls, there is truly a soul plan where they say, I want to go to planet Earth and I want to experience depression or schizophrenia. Now, because of the way this planet works and the support that they have around them, normally most people are being supported and helped with that process. But on the deeper level, there's always a soul plan at play. And I will just speak for myself with my loss of my loved one to suicide from depression. I understand the trauma that this causes family around them. And there is going to be a side of this that in no way will ever humanly make sense to us. But the understanding is that there's a bigger picture at play on the soul side. The other thing I want you to know is that no matter how our loved ones transition, disease, suicide, on and on, they are always met with light and love and compassion on the other side, and their soul is whole. So just please know that the challenges your loved one had was able to be shed and left behind in this realm.
I had a question about that, like to follow up a little bit with the mental illness, and this is something that I had personally viewed it as, and I don't know if this is true, is almost like, I mean, it is an illness like a cancer or something that takes someone's life. It can be that severe where it almost overtakes that person.
100%. So I have, I've done many readings over the years for people who've had loved ones that have transitioned by suicide. And there's one specific situation where this beautiful young man came in and said, this was like stage 4 cancer for me. Even though I had the best treatment, the best care, the best family, I never felt like I could beat it. And so the more that we see mental illness as truly a disease like cancer or ALS or something like that, the more we understand that it was our loved one doing their best to fight and be here as long as they could, even though things were lining up against them. And I'm going to use my mom as an example for this. My mom passed from breast cancer. There's no part of me that's mad at my mom for passing from breast cancer. Do I get mad at the cancer? Yep. Do I understand that there was also a soul plan at play? 100%. And I will tell you the other thing that I know is that the universe is always trying to help us. So whether this is God, divine, angels, life guides, loved ones on the other side, no matter how we show up in this world, no matter what battles we're fighting, we are always supported as much as possible by the other side, as well as, the loving humans in our life. So thank you for that question. It's a really big one. A lot of times the human answer isn't going to bring us the peace that we want, but when we start looking at it on a soul level and a soul plan, there's more answers to be found there.
Thanks, Michelle.
Thanks, Heather.
I am feeling my husband physically. Does spirit have the ability to do this? For example, I felt a jolt through my body, and last week I laid on the couch and it felt to get heavier behind me.
Yes, absolutely. Spirit can do this. So what they can do is they're able to really work with our five senses, and then they can create what would feel like weight, goosebumps, tingles, jolts, electricity, all of these things to let us know I'm right here, I'm right here, I'm right here. And as I've spoken about before, when I found out that Gary had passed, when I went and got to my bed and laid down, I felt him lay behind me and literally put his arm over me. So spirit can manifest physical touch for us.
Thank you. Along these same lines, when our soulmate has passed away from us, when we then pass away, do we join together with them again as a couple, or is everyone just hanging out around full of love and we are all separate individuals, no longer part of a loving couple?
Right. So I love that. It's a great question. And a lot of people have this question. Here's what I will tell you. Your connection with your loved one in spirit is going to continue on and on and on. And it will be romantic love. It will be friendship love. It will be all of that. When we get to heaven, there are no strangers. We actually love everyone. We love the people who were very big challenges in our life and can see them as a friend and as somebody who helped us facilitate our life in a way that we would learn and grow the most. So with that being said, yes, you will see your loved one again. You will see your husband when you get there. You have free will in heaven too. So none of us are forced to be here on planet Earth. If the two of you choose to continue to love each other in that way, will absolutely be honored and blessed. And what I feel like your husband is tapping me on the shoulder, so I need to say this. He's absolutely waiting for you. So don't worry about it. He's not going anywhere. He's got a good sense of humor, by the way. I need to let you know he's not like, running off with any supermodels or anything. He is literally waiting for you. He'll be the first one to greet you. In the meantime, your job is to live and to make the most of your time here.
I love that. All right, next question. This is really interesting. I've heard that when we come to Earth, a part of us remains in heaven. If that is true, do our loved ones in heaven have that part of us there in heaven to interact with?
Yes, that is true, what you are saying. And I love that. And I don't think that a lot of people talk about it this way. But let's talk about our whole soul, our higher self, the essence of who we are, whatever these words are that we want for our spirit, the bigger part of us. Really, this human form, my soul has like its little finger pinky nail in the body of Michelle right now. My whole soul cannot be encompassed by this world that we live in and by this body and vehicle that I'm in right now. So there is truly the majority of us that is always home in that heavenly realm. And we are connected to our loved ones right now, whether they're in a body or not, because we're connected to their whole soul. And that's where our soul is. So this life is the dream. When you transition out of this world, it's like waking up from a very vivid dream and saying, oh my gosh, I almost thought that was real for a minute. It is real on the human level when we're in it, but the higher part of us, the major soul, love, compassion, essence of who we are, is still home at heaven.
Is that how you describe something sometimes, like when you have like deja vu and you feel like you already experienced something before, or how does that relate to that?
Yeah,
so it does it all.
Right. So I would say this: our souls have what I would call ESP, or psychic ability and premonition. So when we're connected to the all that is, we get to see timelines and more likely possibilities. For some people, when they are feeling really psychic in the moment or having like an up opening because the planets and stars have aligned, whatever this is for them, they will start tapping into what's coming ahead. And that would be ESP. I don't think it's necessarily connected to our souls being home in heaven or the majority of them being there. I think it's really connected to your awareness in this physical vessel.
So more like your psychic abilities coming through.
Yeah. And by the way, we're all psychic. We all have this ability. Some people will train it and hone it and use it more, and other people won't. You might call it a deja vu, a premonition, a gut feeling, but we are always all connected. So everybody has this ability.
And I think too, sometimes I know for me, the more I'm aware of it and like recognize those abilities, then the more I'm able to realize they're actually coming in a lot more than I realize until I start to really listen to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you want more of something like that, ask for it. Tell the universe, tell your guides, tell your angels, this was fun. I enjoyed that. I want to see more of that. Always do it in a playful way, not a serious way, because the serious energy is a lower vibration. Playful is like, okay, this is fun. Game on. Let's go, universe. And then you're going to bring in more and more and more.
Great. All right, next question. Will my cognitive abilities get better or return completely anytime soon?
Okay. Let me just fill in that. Absolutely, they're gonna get better because I can feel that, and I want to say that I feel like I'm connecting with your angels on this. Was this a male or female, or can you tell?
There was no name.
Okay, so here's what I will tell you with this. There's something that I want to connect with your energy and with owning that you are getting better every day. So when we start to realize whether this is grief, whether this is physical illness, memory, on and on, right? If we start saying, I'm getting better every day, even if that is 0.5%, over a year, this adds up. So part of healing is us being in alignment and claiming that it's our birthright. And it is your birthright because you're a beautiful soul having a human experience on this planet right now. It is your birthright to heal, and your body's always going to work for that. So is your mind and your spirit. So start claiming it. I do feel like it's coming back for you.
Great. All right, next question. I have meditated for like 20 years, took classes to connect with my guides, and had very little connections. Get discouraged, and now I am back trying again to connect. How can I be successful this time around? And then there's a second part of the question, but
Okay.
Have you answered the first one first?
Yeah, so let's start with that. Whenever we want to connect to spirit, whether it's a loved one in a body, angels, life guides, whatever this is, right? Whenever we're wanting to connect to spirit, we need to do it from a higher vibration. So if meditation isn't working for you, I want you to go watch your favorite comedy, go do whatever makes you laugh the hardest, have the most fun, and then make that connection. So when I'm going to go into a reading, what I have to do is raise my vibration and expand my energy field, right? Depression lowers our vibration and collapses our energy field, right? Or anger, things like that. So think about what you can do to raise your vibration the highest with joy and happiness and make this fun and play, not work, because the idea of work also lowers our vibration, right? So really start to do something that you love, even if it's going for a run, anything like that. I'm not worried about you sitting still for this. If running is something that makes you feel really good, then do it. And as you're doing it, imagine your vibration raising and expanding and see what messages come in for you there.
Great. And the second part they had was, why has my mother, who passed away more than 15 years ago, has never come through to me in my dreams, but my dad did?
Okay, so there could be multiple reasons for that. So let's just say one of the reasons is this. Maybe your mom is on your spirit team, which we know she is, and she's wanting to help you connect spiritually to your guides and your angels. So with that being said, she's like dangling the carrot in front of you for you to find more, find more, find more until you can embrace that. The other thing that I would say is that in that heavenly realm, they don't all have the exact same gifts, just like here on planet Earth. We have some people that play music, some people that run triathlons, on and on and on, right? We all have different gifts. It might not be the vibrational match for you and her to have a dream visit right now. Although I will tell you, it feels like she's working on it. And I still will say she's sending you a million signs. She's showing me two things, butterflies, but also moths. So I want you to pay attention to seeing moths. I don't know why I have to say that, but both of those as signs from mom. She's definitely around you, and she'll send you the dream visit as soon as she can. Raise your vibration as much as you can between now and then.
Great. I know, I think sometimes too, like we want to feel them in a certain way, and they don't always show up in the way that we want to feel them, like maybe a dream or a presence or whatever it is. They show up in whatever way that they want. Is that how it works?
100%. I mean, so there are a couple things going on here to dive into that a little bit deeper. Number one, you have a soul plan and mom has a soul plan. So I don't know what your soul plan is without reading for you. But maybe part of your soul plan is that you're not going to connect with mom in this way because it makes you hungry for more, and it's going to make you be more of a seeker, wanting more answers, doing meditation or whatever it is that you need to do. So I think part of this is a soul plan, because obviously you are capable of receiving, but we also have to remember that we're different vibrational frequencies. So just because you receive from dad doesn't mean you'll receive from mom in the exact same way.
I love that. Thanks for that clarification.
Yeah.
All right, next question. Does my husband, Tom, have any messages for me? He died in a car accident.
Okay, so the first thing that I feel when I connect with Tom is about hearing his voice, hearing his voice, hearing his voice. So I don't know if you listen to audio recordings or videos, but I want to talk about hearing his voice. Yes, if you haven't already heard his voice, you're going to hear it. It might be very simple, like him calling your name when you're falling asleep or waking up. He's also making me want to almost like walk around humming or whistling because I have a lot of energy in my throat right now. So I would say be very open to hearing his voice. He's telling me too that he's moving things around the house. So you might have like a little, I don't know, I want to say a picture or a plaque, and it kind of always falls over, or you set it straight and it turns. But there's something about him moving things in the house. Please know one last thing with Tom. He never wanted to say goodbye to you. So on a soul level, him transitioning in a way where he wasn't going to have to say goodbye was exactly the way that he would have wanted to leave it. Also, with that being said, he's still not saying goodbye to you. So just know he's still active and in your life.
That gave me chills. Thanks, Michelle.
It's so beautiful. What's beautiful is that, no matter who you're missing in spirit, they are loving you from the other side. And whether we can feel it every day or not, they are still a part of our lives and walking with us. They know our energy. They know when we're having good days, bad days, when we're, just in great places and moving forward. And so just know that never ends.
I always find myself too, like talking to my grandpa, especially, and I was just like, if I'm feeling alone or sad, or if there's just something going on in my life and I'm just sitting by myself, I'll just sit there and talk to him.
Right.
I'm not even necessarily out loud all the time, but maybe just in my mind, because I know that he can hear me that way too. And we can communicate that way, but it's just like having a conversation. It makes them feel so present and right there.
They are. I love that.
Next one. What did my bestie from childhood actually pass from in January?
Well, that's interesting because I feel like, I'm getting a lot of what I would say feels like disease, but I'm feeling it like liver, pancreas, stomach, like in that area is what I want to say. There's also a lot of what your best friend was working through some resentment, some anger, but I'm not saying that they were showing up angry in this world, but a lot of times we internalize things so that we're not showing up that way. So I really want to put my hand right there, like liver, pancreas, stomach is the energy that I'm feeling.
Okay, hopefully that gave some good answers, some peace. Any advice from Spirit on how to combat fatigue?
Yeah, so there are a couple things. Well, number one, what I want to say to you, the first thing that I'm feeling is that when you're sleeping, it's not a restful sleep. So try some melatonin, try something that you can get into that REM state. I don't feel like it's there. Try using binaural beats. Delta wavelength is what you would want. But what Spirit is showing me to you, for you, worry, right? So your mind is going all the time. Really, the answer for you is going to be going for that walk and then meditating, or going for the run and meditating. But they're showing me output of energy from your body, so that would be a walk or a run, and then they're showing me like input of calming quiet, and that would be more of a meditation. It doesn't have to be long, 10 minutes of each, but they're showing me that with they're using the word conditioning, that you are actually now going to start conditioning your body and conditioning your mind to follow through with what you want.
Thank you. Next question. Now that I'm finished my cancer treatments, will I find work again in HR, or will I find something different that is more in line with my soul's purpose, which I'm trying to figure out?
Okay, so I'm going to tell you, alignment with your soul's purpose came in really, really strong. This is important for you in a lot of ways because you've already been through like this traumatic event is what we're going to call it. And because of that, you're ready to live in alignment, body, mind, and spirit. So what I would tell you is I feel like that is going to be the path that you go down. And this is also going to be something that feeds your body, mind, and spirit, because you're going to find yourself in a harmonious energy that is supporting the life that you want to live.
Great. Next question, and we'll stay on a couple minutes longer because we got here
late. We're going to go over longer. Yes.
So we'll hang with us. All right. I'm looking for answers to what's been causing my breathing problems for several months and what's causing my blood pressure to run high. Also, if I may ask, are any of our pets we've had to put down unhappy with us, or are they okay with what we did? So kind of a two-part question.
Okay. Sure. Both of those are good. So the first part was about health, and I just want to fill into the energy on your health right now. Because I mean, there's not just stress, there's grief. So I'm not sure what it is that you're grieving, right? Grief comes in a million forms. It could be the loss of a loved one, a job, a pet, which is a loved one, on and on and on, right? So that's where I want to go. I want to go with grief. That is the word they're giving me, compounding the stress. So that's what I feel like we're looking at for your health. Let's talk about our animals now. Our animals choose us too. So we do not accidentally end up with the dog or the cat or the rabbit or the horse or whatever we have that shows up in our life. That is a soul connection and a soul plan for them to be with us. Because of that, our animals are never holding it against it at the time that holding it against us, the time that they transition home, right? So first of all, I just want to say, I can feel how much you love and appreciate your beautiful animals and how much a part of your family are. If anything, you might have held on to a little bit longer than they were gonna, be comfortable, but that's okay because our animals are here to love us and guide us and stay as long as we need them. So animals are never upset about their transition time. They understand the whole soul, right? They're not afraid of death like a lot of humans are. And they understand, like, okay, yep, game over. I'll be back in 5 minutes, because animals very often, there was this movie years ago about this dog. This guy had it. But did you remember the name of that movie? It comes back, right?
I know what you're talking about.
Okay, so anyway, he has this dog as a puppy and as a kid, and then the dog transitions, and then as an adult, this dog comes back into his lives. Our animals will come back into our lives. Those same souls will show up. So our animals are perfect. You know the timing is right. I can feel your heart. I know that you chose the best timing too.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to take a question from the chat. Can you tell me where my guides are telling me to move? What place?
Well, that's big. So I'd rather.
There's a lot of places.
I know. Yeah, we have a whole world here. So if you can put in the chat 2 locations, then I can narrow it down, because a lot of times spirit will be like, this has stronger energy than that. But when you say, where do I go in the world? There are a lot of places you can go in the world to be happy. So let's make this a bigger question while you put in your locations in the chat. Really, there are many places in this world I could live, Heather could live, you could live, to be happy. A lot of that is going to be about our mindset and how we show up and the frequency or vibration that we're bringing into it, right? So there's not just one place for me to live. I could live many places. So could you. This is about what's more in alignment with your soul and your vibration.
Okay, and what they're wanting to know is what part of Arizona.
Oh, what part of Arizona?
So narrow that down quite a bit.
Okay, thank you. So I want to say northern Arizona is what I feel. So I'm feeling anywhere from North Scottsdale up. I don't feel you, like, if you went lower, I'm seeing Sierra Vista or somewhere like that, like a smaller town, but it's going to be a little bit more out of the way.
And Arizona's a great place. We love it.
Here we are.
Next question from the chat. My mom is still having bad headaches from brain surgery over a year ago. Any idea what is going on?
Yeah. So when I feel into that, what I'll tell you is her nervous system still feels like it's on fire to me. And so think about that. Even brain surgery, it's a trauma. I had a traumatic brain injury, not from surgery, but from falling. So what I would tell you, I feel like her nervous system is still on fire, and there's almost what I would call, I'm going to use these words lightly because I don't have better words for it, phantom pain for your mom. So there's part that is still in that trauma mode, right? I think there are 2 things I would say that feel like they will help her: cranial sacral therapy, or the other would be acupuncture. Really focused in that area on reducing the pain and inflammation. Her guides are telling me right now, they're using the word chronic, so I feel like it's obviously very, very regular, but it's due to some type of chronic, getting the information. It's a chronic, serious input of like pain, pain, pain. So even when she's not in pain, her body's creating that signal. So cranial sacral therapy or acupuncture feel like they would be very beneficial for her.
Thank you. We're going to take one last question from the chat today. So thanks everyone for chiming in. It's a lot of fun to see these live questions.
It is. Thanks for being patient with us. I swear we're going to get better on this. I'm going to find a college student. His name's Aiden. He's going to help me. I promise we're going to get better. So thank you for hanging in here.
We're working on it.
We're working on it. I don't cook and I don't do technology. I've said that before. Those are not my gifts.
You've got a lot of gifts.
But
Those
not
are
those.
All right. My daughter has narcolepsy. Is there anything she can do to heal this condition?
I love that. So I love that question. I don't love that for your daughter, but here's what I will tell you. When I do this, so those of you who haven't worked for me before, when I put my hands out like this, what I'm doing is feeling the energy on the body, and then that's how I receive information from the guides or whoever wants to speak into this. So they're giving me the word like deficiency. So I don't know if she has some type of deficiency also that's making this worse, like an omega-3 or something like that, but I want to use the word deficiency. So make sure she is getting the vitamin B and D and all of these things that she needs, because I feel like that could be feeding into it. The other thing is that I will tell you, I do think for her that this can become, what they're telling me is like less invasive. So I don't know that it will ever be 100% cured, but I feel like it can improve a lot. If you know a good energy healer, go to one. If not, I always recommend my dear friend Denise Knutson here in Phoenix, Arizona. She does remote sessions too. Her website is I Am One with the Universe. Go look her up. She's amazing.
She's fantastic. She's really, really good.
See, I connect my friends to great friends. It works out awesome. But what I would say is I would recommend her too, because there's something in your daughter's brain too. I'm kind of getting like a lot of energy that needs to be, it's not going in the right channels that it needs to go into. So it's almost like, I want to say like I get overloaded and shut down is kind of the thing. But I feel like there's a lot of room for your daughter to have a significant improvement here.
Thank you. Okay, we had a lot more questions coming in the chat, so join us next week, and we will definitely be answering questions from the chat as well as from the forms that you guys send in as well. We kind of will go back and forth.
We are, and we're going to try next week to both be on video live and actually make it work at the right time. So thank you for hanging in here with us. Please keep sending in your questions because I love answering them and I love this time with you. I'm wishing you a wonderful week ahead. So have a beautiful day. Bye.